Yeah, he lived poorly with his muggle family that abused him, but he's basically Batman. He is rich and powerful. It's the Batman of the wizard world. Around the holiday time, lots of people around the world like to sit back and enjoy and watch Harry Potter. And I've always wondered why do people want to watch Harry Potter? And I just never understood until now. So, without further ado, guys, you know what we're about to do. Hop in the director's seat, sip on our treats, and get into the real good deets. And today, it is non-alcoholic, or it might have just a shot of coconut in it, but it's some hot chocolate, guys. Because we're in the holiday mood. And to kick off this holiday celebration, we're getting into the first Harry Potter movie, Harry Potter, the Sorcerer's Stone. And guess what? This movie was just released November 14th, 2001. So that was 20 years ago. So happy birthday to Harry Potter, Sorcerer's Stone. And we thank you for the 20 years that you've given us this joy. Because I honestly haven't, gotten into it. But this is a long ass intro. So let's just get into it. Action. Of course, I love to start off with my actors. Recognizing how young Daniel was, Emma was, and Rupert was, those are the main characters if you didn't know. Harry, Hermione, and Ron. Those are the three characters. They were so young. I think Emma was 10 or 11, and watching that back now, I'm not saying the acting was bad, but for a 10-year-old, the emotional maturity that she had in those scenes, I just have to give it to Emma and Daniel and fucking Rupert, because to act so well at such a young age, all of them, I felt like it was such an amazing thing for them to be able to do, all of the children involved, because I think all of them, including the ones who played Malfoy. I don't like his name and I don't like him. So if I say it wrong, I don't care. If you guys haven't seen Harry Potter, I'm letting you know it is perfect to watch during the Christmas time or the holiday season. And I say this because immediately as the movie starts, it feels creepy. It feels eerie and weird, but it's not scary. It's very suspenseful. It's what's happening, but the music that's playing, it feels very walking in the woods, but at Christmas time. So if I was walking through a dark wood, in the faint distance, I would hear slowed bells playing in a church and people humming and singing. That's what it felt like. And recognizing that was the mood and the setting immediately, because I told you before, I wasn't really sure why people like to watch it, but immediately from that first 2 minutes of Sorcerer's Stone, I was like, okay, I get it. I completely get it now. I mean, shout out to J.K. Rowling, because she wrote the entire thing. So I can't really shout out the writers, but I'm gonna shout out my girl J.K. again, because the way this was beautifully written and displayed, I said I wasn't going to relate to the book, and I'm relating to the book. Oh. Anyways, I'm a fan for annotating movies. I know I said I won't talk about a book, and this is not me talking about a book. I promise this is not me talking about a book. But there was a lot of foreshadowing and hinting to things in other movies that's to come, but also within this movie itself. So I loved the moment when Harry was in the zoo and he's speaking to the snake. Now, Harry doesn't know that he has these strange powers and everything else, but him not knowing that power to speak to the snake was something so powerful, it just like lingered in his back pocket. And I love that because they build on that in the second movie. And we'll get to that one, of course we will. Something so strange to start the movie off with, because he's still young, he's still with his Muggle parents, which obviously you can see I'm giving Muggle realness, which if you read Harry Potter, it's regular human beings that don't have magical powers. So I'm giving you regular bitch. Yes. But back to his rude damn aunt and uncle that did not take care of him, and his ugly, stupid cousin that he should have set the snake on, but he was simply just talking to the snake. Like I said, I just like the idea that they placed that egg there. Of course, it was in a book, but they placed that egg there and it grew. But it grew throughout the movie without people recognizing that it grew. Another thing that I liked, still foreshadowing and hinting, was how simple they did it, but it made a major role, or played a major role later on, was when Harry first entered diagonally. But there was a scene in Diagon Alley when Harry first entered with Hagrid, and the kids were all in the window going, oh my gosh, it's so cool. And like they were looking at a broomstick, or like a broom, and on the broom it said like the Nimbus 2000, and faintly in the background, if you're listening closely, because Hagrid and Harry are still talking at the same time, but if you listen closely, because I have super bionic ears, you hear one of the kids say, it's the fastest one, like, up to date, or something he says like that. It's just like the fastest one ever. And later on in the movie, we see that Harry receives that to play his first Quidditch game. Of course, this is the famous movie that kicked it all off and got everybody outside with their sticks going, Wingardia Leviosa. And up to now, I probably still said it wrong. And who knows, I don't have a wand. I am not a part of any of those houses. I would like to point out another Easter egg, or another moment of foreshadowing that I feel like was so important, and like telling to the entire series. But once again, we're watching this, or we're reviewing this as someone who has not read the books. So me watching the movie and forgetting about the books, we're paying attention to the fact that Harry sat on the chair and he's like, not Slytherin, not Slytherin. But then the hat tells him, you would have been perfect in Slytherin. And then it goes to make you think, if he would have been perfect in Slytherin and he can speak to snakes, something feels really off about Harry. And not necessarily off, but there's more to that story. And I feel like they beautifully crafted giving enough but not giving too much. And I say that as well because it's kind of like Star Wars in a sense, but not really Star Wars. It's kind of like you could have, once you see the ending of Harry Potter, you're like, oh, I kind of could have seen that coming. But it goes back to, again, in the shop where Harry is picking his wand basically picks him, but the wand that picks him is basically like a brother wand or a sister wand to Voldemort's wand. And Voldemort, thou shall not be named. I don't know why everybody was so scared of him. Harry Potter was like, who? Voldemort. Okay, I don't really know him, but if y'all don't want to say his name, it's okay. Yeah, I ain't scared. Can we talk about Voldemort, or are we not going? Okay. When it comes to Harry Potter, the music was very cinematic, but in a very empty way. And by empty, I don't mean sad. I just mean like, it felt like someone was playing music in the middle of a dark warehouse, and outside of that warehouse, it was wintertime. Like, if you just strip away the visuals of the movie and listen to the music that's playing, that's how it sounds. When they're walking through the halls, the little strings that are playing, the piano that's gracefully like building crescendo, like leading to it, like you can hear it, you can feel it. And I feel like that's why the movie gives that holiday vibe. And I think in my mind, if I recall correctly, that song became the classical Harry Potter song that once we hear that song, we know it's Harry Potter and that song is on. You just look at Harry and see that Harry was looking like Batman, if we think about it, right? Because both his parents died and left him with, did you see how much money was in that bank when he went to go get it out? Okay, so we're not gonna pretend like Harry Potter is some little poor kid. Yeah, he lived poorly with his muggle family that abused him, but he's basically Batman. He is rich and powerful. It's the Batman of the wizard world. I will say that throughout the movie, though, for some reason, growing up, I always felt like the Sorcerer's Stone was inside the tiny little golden, what the fuck is it called? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The Twitch. Is it Twitch? Stitch. You know what I'm talking about? The little ball that goes really, really fast that you had to catch in the Quidditch game that Harry Potter caught in his mouth, which I found was very funny and very cool and unique. But for some reason, I feel like in my memory, and this is me watching the movies one at a time, guys, so I might be right, I might be wrong, but we're going on this journey together. I felt like I remember the Sorcerer's Stone being inside that Twitch. I don't know why, and I thought that it would have been in that first movie, but it wasn't. It wasn't in that first movie. Universal Studios, I'm sorry, y'all put y'all foot in Harry Potter, and up to this day, it's still paying y'all back because it's in y'all parks. So I just feel like y'all put y'all foot in Harry Potter and the editing and the CGI and the graphics, and now it's really like still paying for it because it's really good. It's a movie that you can watch repeatedly and it doesn't feel completely too fake. It doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, this is like super edited. It doesn't feel like that at all. Like, they were on a budget, and the budget was Harry Potter's bank account. That's what it looked like. Yes, Comcast. I know. The movie was all around great. It was not only suspenseful, but it was a warm-hearted feeling movie. And I love when movies do that to you. It started with Hagrid saying goodbye to Harry as a baby, and him saying, Dumbledore and Minerva reminding Hagrid that this moment is it's not goodbye forever. Like, we'll see him again. Once he grows up, you'll come back for him. It's okay. And we have that mirror moment at the end where Harry and Hagrid are like, bye. And then they all hop on a train, and Hermione's like, well, isn't it sad that we have to leave school? And then Harry's like, no, we'll be back. It's not forever. And I loved that full circle moment because it brought us right back to the beginning of the movie. But because it brought us right back to the beginning of the movie, it brought us right back to all the questions that we had. Why the hell can you talk to snakes? Why the hell did that wand pick him? What other questions do we have? Why do they think that he belongs in Slytherin and not in Gryffindor? Like, why did the Sorcerer's Stone come to him, specifically him? The plot is not misleading, but they give you so much like up and downs, climaxes, and people to follow that you forget the questions that you had. But throughout the entire movie, I feel like everyone was just envying Professor Snape. And I feel like Professor Snape is like the Scar of Harry Potter. Or not even of the Scar. I just feel like because there's gonna be some real tea. Hold on. Professor Snape is like the gay uncle of Harry Potter. And if you agree with me, then you know the tea. Because Snape gives, like, he's protecting Harry Potter, but he doesn't want Harry Potter to know that he's protecting him. And like, mind your business. If I tell you to go inside, go inside. That's how Snape is with Harry Potter. He's like, but at the same time, he's still going to defend and pick up for his house, which is the House of Slytherin. But it's like, and that's his house. That's his house. If y'all know the tea, y'all know the tea. It's the House of Slytherin. Like, he knows the vibe. And I just feel like that's Professor Snape. Professor Snape gives a real key, okay? We have to give a round of applause to Albus Dumbledore. I can't leave without praising that man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed chit-chatting and talking about it with me. after such a long time. If you guys enjoyed this, please scroll down, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get notifications and updates for when I post. I definitely will be back for more movie reviews, but unfortunately we have to leave Molly's world, but we will be back to discuss more movies, more shows, and get into some more things. I love you guys so much. Until next time. Mwah.